So what's happening is the more we use technology, the more our mind becomes weakened in terms of focusing. And that's literally what we see. So what does technology do? The first thing that it does is it diffuses our attention. So we love technology because it concentrates our attention for a little while, right? So when I'm like watching a fantastic TikTok about like a cat meowing in a really cute way, my mind becomes completely one-pointed on that. So over time, what we're actually doing is the mind becomes weakened because the one-pointedness is triggered by a sensory experience. So I'd say that like forcing your mind to focus is hard. Getting it to focus automatically is really easy. But the more that I take the elevator, the weaker my legs get. So what's happening is the more we use technology, the more our mind becomes weakened in terms of focusing. And that's literally what we see. If we look at increases in anxiety, increases in depression, increases in loneliness, literally we have a society of people that cannot control their attention. What they hate more than anything else is boredom. And everything is boring except for TikTok. And the moment that you lose control of your attention, then if you have anxious thoughts, you cannot rein them in. The moment you have depressive thoughts, so then what happens is like, I can't control my attention. So if I start to think anxious thoughts, start to think depressive thoughts, I go down a rabbit hole of that kind of stuff. The only way I can get out of it is to watch another TikTok. So what we're sort of seeing is like addiction to technology because there's a weakening of our attentional capability. And then if we're not using the technology, we're suffering. And the only antidote we have is this. So we turn to this again, and then we get weaker and weaker and weaker. And we're really hitting like a critical state here, which is why we have like, mental health epidemiology. There's like global pandemics of loneliness, suicidality, anxiety, depression, all these things are getting really bad. And I think it's due to this fundamental attentional loss.